Right, we chat to female boxing coach and head coach at Fight with Insight community program, Jennifer Matibi, the Laureus Alumni who was introduced to boxing at the age of 13, looks to build a positive impact using the sport of boxing. Matibi joins us now via Zoom to to tell us more about what she does. Jennifer, good afternoon, and thank you so much for joining us.
Good afternoon. Thank you so much for having me, and I'm super excited to be having this interview.
Fantastic. Jennifer, let's talk about boxing. I mean, I know you're a boxing coach. When did you start with boxing?
So my story in boxing is one, I feel it's inspirational because I started at the age of 13 and I was introduced into boxing as a way to escape the environment that I grew up in. I grew up in Hillbrow, Johannesburg, and it's associated with drugs, prostitution. There's a lot of things, negative things that happen in Hillbrow, and it's not quite a good environment to raise a young female or a young child in that environment. So when I was introduced to boxing, it became a space, my escape space and my safe space outside of the environment that I was raised in, the environment that I could only be used to and explore and all that. So boxing became a space where I could be in a safe environment with good peer pressure, and most importantly, it became my escape from the real reality of where I grew up. So it is an amazing story for me. I feel like if it wasn't for boxing, I wouldn't have achieved the goals that I've achieved at this point. I wouldn't have been a dreamer that I am currently.
So did you ever lace up the gloves yourselves?
Yes, I did. So I competed. When I was introduced into boxing, I was very young. So I competed amateur level. So when I started competing amateur level, it was my first time that, okay, I could actually travel with boxing. So when I was nominated to travel to Brazil by Laureus and represent the few boxers that were going to represent South Africa in Brazil, unfortunately, I didn't win, but that was the start of it all. And from there, I came back, went to the national championships, the South African national championships, won silver medalist in 60 kgs. And from then, I developed the love of boxing. And as soon as I saw that I could not compete anymore, and that was because of other commitments that I had other goals outside of boxing, which was another career. I needed to pursue another career. Then I was like, how can I actually stay in boxing? That's how I ventured into actually coaching.
Tell me about that, because you don't necessarily coach girls only. You coach both boys and girls, men and women.
Yes, I do coach men and women. And the biggest excitement that I had this year was that 7 of my boys got the opportunity to compete national level. They won their first provincial level championships, all of them gold medals. And then they got an opportunity to compete at national level. And for that, for me, was really inspirational because it showed that in boxing, especially as a young female, I usually get negative comments about how can you coach boxing as a young female? What will you teach males in this compact sport? And having my own boxers that are some older than me, competing in a national level and actually coming back with medals, some silver, some bronze, some gold, but all 7 came back with medals, was really a huge milestone for me because it showed that a female female coach can actually do it, can actually coach not only females, but also males in this huge compact sport.
Are you looking at coaching professionally, like in the paid ranks, or are you still looking at development?
I'm still looking at development because my biggest thing, I also started an initiative called Nirvana, which was to facilitate for young women in the inner city, because my biggest thing is to use boxing as a way to develop young people from disadvantaged areas. I want the cycle and the generational cycle to repeat of how boxing actually took me from a space and an environment that wasn't safe for me and gave me a life outside of that environment. I still want to see the development happening with other young people. And my main purpose right now is to inspire through boxing and equip more young people and allow them to dream outside of their current situations using sport as a tool. So I'm not looking professional. It's not about the money, but the development.
And just finally, tell us a little bit about Fight with Insight. What is it about?
So Fight with Insight is a program that was initially started for young offenders from the court that had done any crime to be in a program, a boxing program that would get them, that would rehabilitate them. And as the program grew, I was one of the first generation, the few ones in 2015 that actually started the open access gym. So currently it's an open access boxing gym that offers programs for young people of the inner city. So there's different programs, boxing, soccer, netball, sports programs, and then they have life skills, they do cooking. It's just a program in the inner city, a safe space for young people to actually develop their skills. And it also gives young people a platform where they can come up with new programs, implement new programs for their community, because usually what we say at Fight With Inside, it's not about giving programs to the environment or to the community, but to allow the people in the community to have a voice, to come up with programs that are effective for them, because they're the people that actually stay in those communities. So you would find young people that are coming up with their programs, and Fight With Inside allows them and mentors them to actually execute those programs.
Well, Jennifer, we're going to have to leave it there, but thank you so much for joining us. Jennifer Matibi, as we celebrate Women's Month, young women are doing fantastic things, just coaching in boxing, but also making sure that she keeps other young people off the street.